devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories of glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 7, and text 34 and 35. So I'll read the first verse. Ye cha pralamba-khara-dardura-keśy-ariṣṭa mallebha-kaṁsa-yavanāḥ kapi-pauṇḍrakādyāḥ anye cha śālva-kuja-balvala-dantavakra saptokṣa-śambara-vidūratha-rukmi-mukhyāḥ. Okay, so please repeat. Yeva mṛdhe samiti-śālina ātta-cāpāḥ kāmboja-matsya-kuru-sṛñjaya-kaikayādyāḥ yāsyanty adarśanam alaṁ bala-pārtha-bhīma vyājāhvayena hariṇā nilayaṁ tadiyaṁ. Yeva mṛdhe samiti-śālina ātta-cāpāḥ kāmboja-matsya-kuru-sṛñjaya-kaikayādyāḥ yāsyanty adarśanam alaṁ bala-pārtha-bhīma vyājāhvayena hariṇā nilayaṁ tadiyaṁ. Yeva mṛdhe samiti-śālina ātta-cāpāḥ kāmboja-matsya-kuru-sṛñjaya-kaikayādyāḥ yāsyanty adarśanam alaṁ bala-pārtha-bhīma vyājāhvayena hariṇā nilayaṁ tadiyaṁ. Yeva mṛdhe samiti-śālina ātta-cāpāḥ kāmboja-matsya-kuru-sṛñjaya-kaikayādyāḥ yāsyanty adarśanam alaṁ bala-pārtha-bhīma vyājāhvayena hariṇā nilayaṁ tadiyaṁ. Matajis? Ye, all those, va, either, mṛdhe, in the battlefield, samiti-śālinaḥ, all very powerful, ātta-cāpāḥ, well equipped with bows and arrows, Kāmboja, the King of Kāmboja, Matsya, the King of Dvarbhaṅga, Kuru, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Sṛñjaya, King Sṛñjaya, kaikaya-ādyāḥ, the King of Kekaya and others, yāsyanty, would attain, adarśanam, impersonal merging within the Brahma-jyoti, alaṁ, what to speak of, Baladeva, the elder brother of Krishna, Partha, Arjuna, Bhīma, the second Pandava, vyāja-āhvayena, by the false names, hariṇā, by Lord Hari, nilayaṁ, the abode, tadiyaṁ, of him. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. So that's the translation for both of the verses. All demonic personalities like Pralamba, Dhenuka, Baka, Keshi, Ariṣṭa, Chanura, Mushtika, Kuvalaya Pida, elephant, Kamsa, Yavana, Narakasura, and Pundaraka, great marshals like Śālva, Dvividha monkey, and Balvala, Dantavakra, the 7 bulls, Śambara, Vidūratha, and Rukmi, as also great warriors like Kāmboja, Matsya, Kuru, Sṛñjaya, and Kekaya, would all fight vigorously, either with the Lord Hari directly, or with him under his names of Baladeva, Arjuna, Bhīma, etc., and the demons, thus being killed, would attain either the impersonal Brahma-jyoti or his personal abode in the Vaikuntha planets. Purport. All manifestations in both the material and spiritual worlds are demonstrations of the different potencies of Lord Krishna. The personality of Godhead, Baladeva, is his immediate personal expansion, and Bhima, Arjuna, etc. are his personal associates. The Lord would appear, and he does so whenever he appears, with all his associates and potencies. Therefore, the rebellious souls, like the demons and demoniac men, mentioned by the names like Pralamba, would be killed either by the Lord himself or by his associates. All those affairs will be clearly explained in the 10th canto. But we should know well that all the above mentioned living entities killed would attain salvation either by being merged in the Brahmajyoti of the Lord or being allowed to enter into the abodes of the Lord called Vaikunthas. This has already been explained by Bhishmadev, 1st canto. All persons who participated in the battlefield of Kurukshetra or otherwise with the Lord or with Baladev, etc., would benefit by attaining spiritual existence according to the situation of their minds at the time of death. Those who recognized the Lord would enter Vaikuntha, and those who estimated the Lord as only a powerful being would attain salvation by merging into the spiritual existence of the impersonal Brahmajyoti of the Lord. But every one of them would get release from material existence. Since such is the benefit of those who played with the Lord inimically, one can imagine what would be the position of those who devotedly serve the Lord in transcendental relationship with Him. Hare Krishna. So it's very significant purport because it's very practical. Srila Prabhupada, and is clearly giving us the indications what is happening with the jiva in the material world. Previously, then Bhishma, then he was already mentioning how glorious the Lord is. Because on the battlefield, then there are many enemies. And then you have Arjuna, he is just ready to shoot. There is Krishna, who is riding the chariot for him. And now there is somebody who is also drawing arrow or some other weapon and then trying to kill Arjuna. But now the arrow of Arjuna is already flying and then he is already dead basically. But the person, he would be seeing Arjuna and he also see Krishna in front of him. What is he thinking at that moment? That's very significant, very important. If he thought of Krishna as, oh, he's my enemy, he's fighting on the other side, no, so, and at the time then he gets hit by the arrow, then he gets liberation, he gets merged into Brahmajyoti. But if the person would appreciate any quality on Krishna, then he is Bhagavan, so he has all 6 potencies. I mean, he's most beautiful, he is the strongest, he is the most, he's the richest, most austere, he has everything. So it's not so difficult to appreciate anything, or something at least. Then little appreciation of Krishna would bring that person place in Vaikuntha. That's amazing. So anybody who was fighting with Krishna or with the Pandavas, right, on the battlefield, would be liberated. Just depends on how. Now, of course, Srila Prabhupada, and he is warning us, he is saying, Sayujya, or merging into Brahmajyoti, is not a liberation, really. Don't ask for it. It's easy, but don't ask for it. That's not. Because it's Srila Prabhupada calls it actually the spiritual suicide. because that's the time when the jiva merges into Brahmajyoti, so everything gets reset. Even the activities, pious, impious, fine, but even the devotional activities get reset. So when he merges out, which he will, I mean, it may take, I don't know, a millionth lifetime of Brahma also, but since Brahmajyoti is only Sat and then the Jiva is Sachit Ananda, then it's not fully compatible. It's like you can take oil, you can take water, you can put some emulsifier, mix it together, and it will look like it's homogenized. It's like a cream, or it's. But after some time, you will see, the oil starts separating from the water. It's inevitable. So the same thing is also for the Brahmajyoti. So it will happen. But since it happens after so long, and true, the jiva has no suffering at that moment, so then some call it liberation. But not the Vaishnavas. So, the only option is then to serve Krishna in one of the Vaikuntha planets. And we as a Gaudiya Vaishnavas, then we are aspiring for Goloka Vrindavan, which is the highest Vaikuntha planet. But any Vaikuntha planet, Vaikuntha means no misery. And that's true. So, that's the real liberation. So, getting liberated or thinking that, yes, I can actually merge into Brahman, it's fine, and then later on I'll think about, no, you won't be able to think. You cannot think. So, it's like, I mean, you go to the airport and you have a choice, or sometimes maybe you have a choice, to catch one of the planes, right? But some plane can go to America and some plane can go to Japan. Once you sit in the plane, you have no option. The pilot is not going to turn the plane for you. You made your choice. Now you bear the consequences. We have to be very careful about that. Krishna gave us the free will. And then all of us, we have the free will. Even though it's in minute, the will, it's in the form of wish, basically, that's all. Krishna's will is supreme. And whatever he is willing, he has his energies to fulfill that will. So what he thinks, it happens. Sometimes you see like some rich man, he may have so much of like entourage, and when he is desiring something, then everybody just works and then makes it happen. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But Krishna, absolutely, always. Now, for most of us, well, we may wish to get something or to do something or have something, but mostly it doesn't happen. So it gets frustrating. I want this. No. I want, so it's more cool. No, well, I mean, no, it's not going to be cool. There's no rain scheduled for some time. And in like 10 days, maybe the monsoon will start. So then it cools down. But until then, it's going to be quite hot. So we may wish, but man proposes, God disposes. So we have to wait for Krishna, what is his way. So now let's desire the right thing. No, forget Sayuja. It's no, absolutely no. So now the option is, well, service to the Lord, not through bhakti, then we may get some personal association of the Lord or of his associates. That's the way to go. But then, that's not cheap. It's not so easy. And sometimes, yes, we see Srila Prabhupada's instructions that, and not just his instructions, it's Shastras, that whatever we think of at the time of death, time of death, that's where we go. I mean, Srila Prabhupada mentions it, the mind of the person, what he thinks of. But what are we going to be thinking about when we are dying? See, like, I think just yesterday there was a big accident. Train accident. Coromandel Express. Crashed with some other train, and they say like around 250 people died, and many hundreds injured. What were the people thinking about when the train was crashing? It's not so easy to remember Krishna if you don't, if you are alone, and if you are not practicing thinking of Krishna. That's why we have the society. Srila Prabhupada has created the society, ISKCON, for us, so that we can practice throughout our life. So when something happens, whatever it happens, you are trained at the time of death to think of Krishna. That's the ultimate. But if we are not practicing, and if we are thinking, well, anyway, I can just take it easy, and when I die, it will be fine. I'll be thinking of Krishna. But if we maintain attachments, and suddenly we see situation which is against the attachment, somehow we are seeing that we are going to lose the attachment, then be honest to yourself. What is your thinking? Are you easily parting with that attachment? Okay, whatever, I thought about it, anyway, didn't work out, let it go. You may have some new car, you are watching at it, and then now you see that there is another car coming and is going to crash into it. What are you going to do? Anyway, let go. Or are you going, oh, stop, please, no, that's my car. That's me, that's my car. No, I lost my life. No, what are you going to do? So you may have many plans for life, and when you are going to be dying, it can be slow, it can be fast. What are you going to be thinking? What are you going to be thinking about your attachments? Oh, finally, all my desires will be destroyed. Or, oh, no, I still wanted to do this. Oh, I still wanted to do that. Which one is going to be? And that's the moment of death, right? What are you going to thinking? That moment. Moment means moment. You don't have a minute. It's a moment. And according to that, then you get, oh, you still have some material desires? Fine. You will get the opportunity to fulfill them. And then you should be happy. But you can be only happy in ignorance. So the next birth, then we take, we will forget about the previous one, and we will be happily living. Wow, it's so wonderful. Like Indra, he was living in the body of a pig. He had a pig wife, he had small piglets, and he was so happy when the demigods came and told him, okay, time over, now you can go back to heaven or take charge of the... No, I don't want. I'm happy. These are attachments. So what is it going to be for us? And also, when the Shastra says that devotees, anybody chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra once or listens to Mahamantra, comes to Mayapur, any pilgrim, right? So visiting Dham, so it's above any pious activity, material pious activity. So basically he is a Vaishnava, maybe Kanishta, but he is a Vaishnava. And those activities are beyond any measure in terms of punya. So, any devotee just coming across to other devotees or just stepping into the dham, anything, so then he is the best of jivas. So now, if such a devotee, it's not maybe very sincere or doesn't have time to complete the process, achieving bhava, prema. So then, by Shastra, it's mentioned that you will get another chance. You will get chance because you will be born in the family of devotees or some rich family, so that you get the opportunity to continue where you stopped. So now, that can sound very, let's say, comforting. Wow, it's all right. So then if I don't make it, I can continue. Now there are few drawbacks in this. One is because the devotee, he is the best of the jivas. So then he had done so many of pious activities in the measure. So for pious activities, then he is rewarded by going to heaven. But since it was like so much of pious activities, then he will be here for some time, for a long time. But eventually these activities will exhaust. And he comes back here. But when? See, the life in heaven, it's much longer compared to the life on the earth. So even if he goes to the lower heavenly planets, still he will be there for maybe 10,000 years. And if he comes back after 10,000 years, what's going to be here? It's going to be a mess. It's already starting to be a mess. So after 10,000 years, when the teachings or the movement of Lord Chaitanya, then it's actually over and the real Kali Yuga starts. That's not going to be very nice. Of course, then he may wait for the next Satya Yuga. But even that, Satya Yuga, then it's a different. All right, so the next Kali Yuga. Yeah, Krishna appears in Kali Yuga, fine, okay. But, or Dvapara Yuga, no. But not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appears once in the day of Brahma, which is every 1000th Kali Yuga. Of course, then Krishna can arrange that you will get born in some other universe, or you wait for the whole day of Brahma to pass and then you appear. Maybe. Maybe not. It's a risk. It's a huge risk. And even if we get the blessing and forget the pious, okay, yeah, you want to be devotee, fine. I'll give you a place. You will get born in the devotee family or rich people family. Now, when it's still going on, so you can continue. Is it a blessing? Is it a blessing to be born in a rich family? So many distractions. Rich people's children, how much devotion they have? Or are they more distracted with mobile phones, with Facebook or Twitter or whatever other things, now ChatGPT, right? How much time is there for practicing devotion? And since they have money, they can do anything they want, and why should they take up austerity? It may not be easy. And unfortunately also, we see being born in devotee family doesn't guarantee you that you are going to be a devotee. If you look around, how many devotees, children, are devotees when they grow up, it's not that great number. It's also a risk. So, rather, don't take this as a blessing. Don't take it as some alternative. We should work on developing bhakti now, right now, today, because tomorrow, you don't know. I mean, the sun will explode, right? And then we all die. You don't know. So, better think about or practice devotional service now. Not after, not tomorrow. And there are many ways how to practice. So, chanting Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is Snanyatra, you can go. Today is Abhishek of Lord Nrsimhadev. Yes? Can take part, bring some water for Nrsimhadev, or just sit and watch the Abhishek. So many ways. Then the Sarla Vihar is there, it's happening. So, we should rather be serious about how we spend our every moment of our life, thinking like that it can be the last one. It doesn't mean that we should be in anxiety and we should always get panic. Oh, it's the last one. No, like the Y2K, right? No, it's coming. What's going to be end? No, don't worry about that. Think about then what you are supposed to do. What are we supposed to do? See, how you want your life to go, it depends on what you do now. Don't live in the past. Past is past. You may have been a great person in the past, but now we are not, maybe. Now you have to practice. Learn from the past. Don't live in the past. Or in the past, we were rascals. So now we got the opportunity to erase that. No need to live in the past. We learn from the past, we don't live in the past. Always live in the present. And the present will determine the future, where we go. Like, for example, like samskaras, right? Then when the parents do the garbharana samskara, that's the time, that's the present, that's the moment when they have the conception of the child, and this is what determines who the child is going to be. All the other samskaras can correct something. but it's the Garbhana samskara which is the utmost important, which determines. And now it is said, but okay, oh yeah, but it depends on the janma. Right? Yeah, the janma titi, it's determined by the Garbharana. So if the Garbharana doesn't properly, janma happens properly. If not, then not. Now people are thinking, wow, okay, I can cheat. I can go and, no, they can do cesarean, right? They can have their child born anytime they want. Doesn't count, that's cheating. So, if we perform things properly, the good result comes. If not, then not. That's just how it works. So, if we are sincere now, then it will be easier to think about Krishna at the time of death. And like I gave the example so many times. The Tukaram Maharaj, who was going to Vaikuntha. There was a tree, on the tree there was Vimana, the whole village saw the Vimana. So you see, he is going. And then he comes to you and he said, my friend, please come with me to Vaikuntha. And he did that, like 4 or 5 friends he had the opportunity to take them with him to Vaikuntha. All his friends denied. I don't want to go. Attachments? So it's not so easy to think about, to go, even if you see the Vimana, even if we get direct invitation. What to speak of, that the situation may not be very favorable. Why should you think of Krishna, or why you should not think about how to change the situation, how to save yourself from the situation? Unless there is a surrender, the Sharanagati, then it's not going to happen. And the Sharanagati doesn't happen, no, without giving up our attachments. So what's important is to practice amanina. Sure, whatever comes easily, take, use. If it goes easily, don't cry for it. Let it be. Comes, okay. Goes, okay. Don't over-endeavor for something which is very difficult to achieve, because you waste your time. So, if we can do that, that will help us. And we should help ourselves, but we should also help others. See, it's very sad actually to see then in Mayapur as a community, there are some sincere devotees. They are practicing, they are doing, but many devotees are not so. You see that? You see the Mayapur youth. They are ISKCON devotees, right? But no, at least some of them, illicit sex, drugs, alcohol, it's going on. What are we doing about it? That's the new generation. What do they get? Or is it their fault? Is there something which we can do? Or should we do something? We have to. At least we should be good examples. Teach by Achar. We should maybe persuade the leaders of Mayapur that something has to be done. We should see to it. Our endeavor should be about how to develop and how to maintain bhakti activities. We should not be needed for always tackle some emergency situations. If we endeavor to have activities, devotional activities always happening, and be involved, then naturally brings happiness. And happiness is contagious. Everybody is looking for happiness. Liberated jiva or conditioned jiva. So, seeing that these activities work well, it's something wonderful. Others will become more attracted. That's the way. So we should look for how to make Mayapur the center of the world, actually. That's the center of ISKCON, center of spiritual world, center of spiritual activities. That we don't have to deal with nonsense activities. So, we have to, and ultimately we have to deal with our own conscience. What did I do about it? What can I do about it? So, this is something which is actually the most pleasing to Krishna. Then we try to do something for others and especially devotees. So let's try. Let's try just becoming more sincere. I know. All of you are sincere. Now you are here for the class. No, it's so hot and everything. Yes. But that doesn't mean that this is the top. There is no more possible. Try to always read Srila Prabhupada's books and look for what is the next step I can do. What else can I do? What other activity? What should be my consciousness? It's always step up. Even when we think that this is the end, no, there is always something more to do. And if we are sincere and looking for it, we will find it. So I would like to urge all of you here, please try, think about how can we help the situation? How can we help making Mayapur the center of spiritual world? Visibly. So any pilgrims, anybody comes, they understand it. Even whatever we do, it doesn't change. It's always there. But see, like Vrindavan, it's the other side of Goloka. But now Vrindavan is more and more covered. There's so many also nonsense activities going on. So let's not that happen also here. Let's make it very obvious, very clear that anybody comes, they understand. Mayapur is the center of spiritual world. Then they will immediately feel like in Vaikuntha, they will feel immediately to be involved in devotional activities. Not because they are forced to, but because they are inspired to. So that will be something very wonderful. So that the consciousness of Krishna pervades throughout the Mayapur mood. So we can try for it. And that will be, I think, the best then we can do. And then after that, let's see. Another step, we will find out. Hare Krishna. So any questions or comments? Yes.
Maharaj, thank you for a nice class. Maharaj, in the translation of this verse 35, it is written in the last that the demons thus being killed would attain either the impersonal Brahmajyoti or his personal abode in the Vaikuntha planets. My query is that, give one or two examples who have attained impersonal Brahmajyoti like Sajujya Mukti and his personal abode like Saloko Mukti. One or two examples so that we will understand better.
See, like for example, Putana. She is a demoness, right? She is going to kill Krishna. But when she comes, with the proper, the mentality of, okay, I'll play part of a mother and I will have Krishna then to be my child. So that's the time when she died. So then she gets the place to be in Vaikuntha. Shishupal, he is constantly criticizing Krishna. He says Krishna, bad words come into his mouth. He cannot help it. And he gets 100 chances. But still, he is not thinking. He is always, how can he be saved? What he is going to do in spiritual world? But he will get the so-called liberation. Okay, just go and merge. It depends on what we want. Like Ajamil, he got really messed up throughout his life, and he was really bad. But because of his good brahmacharya, then at the end of his life, then he was able to still come to some sanity. And he named also his child, because some sanity was coming. So when he is calling child's name, he knows, he is calling the Lord's name. And he doesn't get liberated, he gets another chance. And theoretically, yes, he should have gone to Brahmajyoti. But that was not his destination. So he gets another chance. How is he going to use it? No. And he remembers that this is a great boon, like Bharat Maharaj. Great devotee, but just little fall down, thinking about the time of death. But again, Krishna is not a bad person. He is Bhakta Vatsala. So he knows that this is not his plan. So he gave him the deer's body with the consciousness of that previously he was a devotee who fell down. Because of that, remembering, as soon as he could have walked, he just ran away from his mother. And what happens to a small baby deer, not being under protection of a mother, immediately dies somewhere. That's what he wanted. And then he gets born as a human, as a boy, remembering the previous two lives. So he is not, I don't want to do it again. Forget it. So he is very much conscious, he is very much sane, but he is playing insane. He doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to think of Krishna. So he's a Jada. A Jada Bharat. Yes.
Maharaj, thank you for the class. You mentioned a point that we have to set the examples. We have to work. So I have observed in my dealings with devotees, like some devotees ask me to help them out and some things I try to help them. So some devotees say that I'm trying to do this to preach or to do some service for the devotees. And then because of some internal, you can say like politics or something, the management is not supporting. Or then they go in the humble mode that why to interfere in these things and I'll ignore that. Then
Yeah.
the opportunity is lost where this service can do lot of benefit for the devotees. And so how do we deal with this? Because the so-called like narrow-mindedness like of the people who are above or something like that, something is not allowing this devotee who is sincerely trying to serve. So to
Yeah. But you see, nothing happens without reason. So we are trying, oh, okay, now I'm trying to do something. So everybody should be looking at me and everybody should be supporting. Maybe something like that. But no, sometimes it doesn't work like that, right? I'm trying, but there are obstacles. So if I really want to do, I have to overcome the obstacles. And the obstacles can be adhyatmika, antibhautika, adidaivika. There are so many clashes, so many obstacles which come in our way. But if we are sincere, we can always find a way and become stronger. But if it's, yeah, I tried, I asked management, he said, no, sir, just look at them, no, it's useless, it looks useless to do something, it looks useless to try anything, No, I tried, well, what's the use? So keep trying, you will get there. So don't give up. You see, like Bilwa Mangal Thakur, he so attached to a prostitute, right? And then she told him about how stupid he is, that he is attached to her instead of to Krishna. So he was so determined after that, to see Krishna, that in his determination, he was so disgusted with his eyes that he sees nonsense, so he poked his eyes. Just not to see anything. Because he always wanted to see only Krishna. There's determination. I'm not saying that somebody should be just going and poking eyes, but there's determination. So how much determination do we put into trying something in Mayapur? Can we say that we did maximum? Look at Srila Prabhupada. Look at the devotees in 60s, 70s. How much endeavor they put into. And now, what we are. See, like, now it's so hot. But after this you go put on fan or go to the AC. Oh, yes, so hot. No, it's so bad. No. But what do you care? There was on a tin shed. What happens in the tin shed in such a heat? It's terrible. You have to survive it. And you still have to do your services. You still have to cook. Matra sparshas tu konteya, right? No, sitoshna, sukha, dukkha, no. So that's austerity. So now when we think that, oh, I have to wake up for Mangalarti, it's so austere. Think about what others are doing. So your level of austerity or your measurement of austerity maybe completely changes. So don't think that just because you want to do something, so that's the thing which has to happen. Maybe it's not the right time for it. Maybe it's not the right mentality for it. Think about it more. Discuss it more. And practice amanina. When it comes, okay, then you do it. When it's something for Krishna, then fight for it. Do more. Endeavor. Over endeavor. But then think about, is it for Krishna or is it for me? If you are not sure, then it's probably not for Krishna. You want to maybe make name and fame? Maybe. So purify the mentality. And it will happen seamlessly. So when there are some obstacles, it's for a reason. But of course, now, see, in Mayapur, there's so many politics going on. And it should not be in the spiritual society. That should be eliminated. We should not need to deal with politics. That's a fact. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for nice class. Sometimes you mentioned about this, people who may choose to do the cesarean and then, choose an auspicious time. So sometimes I also wondered what happens, what will be the end result of doing such things when we, try to bend the rules and, have the cheating mentality.
See, you are free to do whatever you want. Okay? You think about, you want to jump off the window, you can do that, right? Who can stop you? Maybe somebody can try, but if you are fast, maybe you will just make it, right? Because you want to. That's your free will. But that doesn't mean that you will fly. You will hit the ground. So you are free to desire whatever you want. But the consequences which come for it, it's not in your jurisdiction. So therefore, you have to think really carefully what you should desire, what you should do, thinking about, if I do this, these consequences will come. And these consequences are bad. I don't want them. Therefore, I will not do it. That's intelligence. Or I should do this because there is a good consequence coming, so then that should be done like that. That's intelligence. But thinking about, no, yeah, I'm free to do whatever I want and act on it, you are going to be taken for a surprise. There was one boy, and he wanted to show off in front of others. Nowadays it's happening a lot. So you have the stairs to like a metro, escalators, and they were probably like, I don't know, maybe like 50 meters long, like long ones. So he wanted to show, in front of his friend with the camera and everything, just that he will go down on the bicycle. So, and then, he did that. So he was going down, the stairs, and just bumpy, this, that, and he was very confident, so he was really fast, so just to show off, right? I mean, that's what actually ultimately matters. Unfortunately, now when the stairs go and then they go flat, right? So when he was going, then when he was coming down, it bumped the back wheel in that speed. He went around, he broke his neck. He probably didn't plan that. I mean, I don't think he planned that. But it was a stupid idea in the first place to think about going on the bicycle on the stairs. Consequences will come. And no matter who you are, the laws of nature, they work. So we should be intelligent and hear about what are the laws of nature. If I act like this, what do I get for it? But then, to do that, we have to also see, we are the examples for the young people, right? So they are acting that way mainly because really no adults care. So they are not being appreciated. So they have to look for appreciation, at least among those who will appreciate them, and then they do stupid things. I mean, it's not that we didn't do some stupid things, but it's getting insane stupid nowadays. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for a very thought-provoking class. I'm very concerned when you say that the youth are really being battered by Maya. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And yes, they are making those choices. But how and why are they making those choices? Where are the caregivers? Who's taking care of them? Who's nurturing them? Who's emotionally and spiritually supporting them? What is their background? What is their family life like?
Yeah.
Where is the think tank in Mayapur to deal with the youth, because they are our future? Where is the engagement for the youth so they don't have to turn to all these things? We need farm communities like we need water. We need to take Prabhupada's words very seriously. If we are to survive into the next century as a vibrant, flourishing organization, we have to get our act together. So I want to know, in Mayapur, where is the think tank? I understand buildings have to be built, and roads have to be placed, and all the construction has to come, but where is the construction of our society going? If you will kindly shed some light on this.
Well, if you ask me, then I really don't know. It's something for you probably to start working on. See, what was happening already for some years, and I think it's still happening now. I have personal experience of it, and I have heard many people also say, you go and you see some child doing something wrong. You correct the child. What happens next? The parents come to you. Who do you think you are that you are telling something to my kids?
Well, the family unit has to be taken into consideration.
Exactly.
What is going on with the child is symptomatic of what is happening in the family.
But from that you can see, from the grain of their eyes, you can understand the whole bosta, what's inside. So when you see these things, so it's very dangerous. So that has to change. We have to work on the young people in the first place, because they are the next generation. And as ISKCON, we have neglected taking care of young children.
And that's putting it mildly, considering the abuse they have gone through. And what are we doing about that?
Yeah, but from the very beginning, see, Srila Prabhupada, he wanted the Gurukulas properly to be established and running. The leaders didn't even bother with it. No schools. So there was no proper encouragement or proper support to even run the schools. And then for the schools, who is going to teach kids? Those who don't know anything. Just those who, they have no qualification. Just go to Gurukul. You can just be there. Be with kids. Anyway, what they learn, just ABC. That's the mentality. So because of that, then naturally everything happens and graduated to the point where we are now. It's really a mess. Now, not to live in the past, just to learn from the past, what are we going to do today to make the future for the children happy?
So, can we work together on this?
Yes.
Would you like to set up a meeting where we can talk with concerned authorities? I'm a therapist. I'm a marriage and family therapist by profession and by training, and I'm very concerned about what's going on.
If I can help with something, I would be very happy. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Paramananda.